Alright, what's up guys? I am on the mic. I'm gonna continue. I was working on Fibonacci retracement yesterday and I couldn't, or I was so distracted that I didn't complete the Fibonacci retracement. Nevertheless, today I'm going to work on it, and so all I'm really going to try to accomplish today is actually getting the retracement lines on, getting the trend lines created, plotted on the chart, and then I can go back and work on finding levels or areas of significance. So for today, like I said, my goal is going to be to get those trend lines plotted on the chart. All right, so let's run it. All right, I'll just pick a chart like NVIDIA, something like that, something simple, something that we know has both liquidity and lots of data. We'll go to the 1 minute chart. D. What did we do last time? Last time we came in and this. We're gonna make a new one. Show me. Okay, practice. Did something like no. Let's do this one here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make the lines show. I'm going to make this a starting point, and then I can go back and adjust everything, but I'm going to make this a starting point. I'm going to make this the ending point, and then we'll do the calculations and come up with everything in between. I'm going to need a lot of coffee for this because this is going to be a doozy. Alright, let me put some music on. Got music in my earpiece since I can't play it with, I don't think I can play it on the stream without getting in trouble. So, alright. Alright, so some of this I will need help with. I know we have to use like using EL system, using EL, it's like using EL, using drawing objects. Let's see what it is. Using EL system, dot drawing objects. Then trying to do some of this from memory so that I can actually get better at doing it. Of course, I could always just look back at this one to see exactly what I did, but trying to commit some of this to memory. There's no guidebook for this coding. You know, there's just you know, if you get on here and maybe you not sure what something is, you right click it and you put definition, so it'll pull up the definition and you just kind of learn bit by bit by bit. There's, at least I haven't found like a code book, guidebook. And then there's some resources online on TradeStation. There's wikis, there's the forum. People will help you, that kind of thing. But this is on you. This is all on you. If you want to do it, this is on you. So, and then some people, can't handle that. Some people, can't handle that, which is okay. All right. So, I want to identify this time here. So, 10:05 at 10:08. So, EO systems. I know I have to do trend line, name the trend line, and then support, and then name trend line dot create, daytime start dot create. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back and forth. All right, so was that variable or method? Variable. Trend line support null. Okay, so variable. We'll put start dot. So start dot. But I think that's trend line. Start D. And that's null. And then we're gonna put trend line. Yeah, we'll start by plotting the top and bottom trend lines. All right, so trend lines. Let's do top dot null. All right, so this is gonna be bottom dot null. Okay. All right, so what this is doing is plotting the trend line, which you need the start point and the end point. And so actually, if your start point and end point are the same, then you can use that to create a trend line. You just put a modifier on there that says extend to the right. Okay, so it'll be something like bottom D dot, was it create? Bottom D dot create. And then I think we gotta go, yeah, 1.5. Bottom D dot create. I need to do that trend line that create. Okay, so equals trend line dot create bottom D equals bottom D equals, and then DT point, yep, dot. Now was that create also? DT point dot, yeah. Don't know that I need to do that. Let's try. Okay, easy point dot create. Date time of bar. Date time. So now I got to go through another. Got to go through something else. Because I need to create the starting instance reference of the bar this bar date time, and now I can reference it by referencing the bar number, but I don't want to do that, especially if this changes based on if I change the time frame from 1 minute to 5 minutes, something like that, then the bar number would change because there will be a different number of bars. So I need to reference the time and the date. So I've got to figure out how to do that. Let's go to definition of DT point. DT point. Daytime with bar. Create DT point. Create bar date time. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Bar date time. DT point date time. So this is like I said, is excuse me. This is referencing the bar number. It's getting the date time for the bar number. Bar number will be the current bar number. Here the bar number is the bar number from 25 bars ago, and I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it referencing actually the no, that won't do it. I want to give it its own time. The end point is, I think it's the bar number. Yeah, bar number. I almost forgot what I was doing. Current bar 20. I should be able to create it from date time, from create it myself. Point class. Nope. Time point. Date. All right, daytime bar. I told you this was gonna be tough. Just curious of what NVIDIA is doing up here. Okay, all right. Come on, daytime point. Bar date time. Well, I know one way that I could do it, but I feel like there should be an easier way. Let me see. That's the bar number. Okay, this is going to be very complicated. This is going to be very complicated, but I have an idea. Okay. So, like I said, I think I'm probably making it more complicated than it has to be, but at some point down the road, as I continue to do more of these, I'll find that there was a better way. All right, so we're going to do, at least I should only have to do 2 of these, and then from there, I should be able to, yeah, I only have to do 2 of these, and then my calculation should do the rest. Okay, so we're going to do we'll call it value 5. We'll do if time equals 09. What time is that? 09, 10, 11. 09, 10, 11. If time is 10, 11 and date equals, I forgot how the date format has to be. I think it has to be like, I think it's got to be something like from the year 1900, so 123 years. So 1009, 123, something like that. Because you have the month, the date, or the day, and then you have the number of years. So here, all right. So date returns. So yeah. So you got the month. Oh, the years first. So 123, then the month, then the date. Okay. 123, then the month, 10, and then the date. Was that the 9th? The 5th. 05. All right, so if time is 10/11 and the date is this day, October the 5th, then we're going to use that time. All right, so if that, then if those things are true, then value 5, we'll call it value 6, because see down here we've already used value 5. Value 6 equals bar number. So it's going to give us the bar number, but it's going to be bar number starting from the beginning. And so in order to reference for a trend line, we need to reference the number of bars back. Then value 6 equals bar number. So we've got to say value 6 equals the current bar. Can we do that? Current bar minus bar number. No. Current bar. Then value 6 equals current bar, because it's going to work from the beginning of the chart. Line, bar. It works from the beginning to the end. It doesn't skip. It doesn't get to the end of the chart and then look back and say, hey, what happened there? I mean, it can reference historical data. But as it moves forward in time, in order for this to be true, so this and, yeah. So these two have to be true, and so that way it's only referencing whatever is happening here. That's how we get that. All right, so if time is equal to 10/11 and date is October the 5th, then value 6 equals current bar. Value 6 equals current bar. Okay, but we've got to do one more thing, because value 7 is equal current bar. So now we're saying that whatever bar we're on is the current bar. We're taking that current bar and we're going to subtract from that value 6. So value 6 is the number of bars up into this point. Now we might be sitting on this bar here, and we need to know how many bars back this is. So we have to take this total bar length here. So we have to take whatever total bar length here and subtract this amount of bars here, and then we will end up getting that difference. And that difference is the number of bars back. And that number of bars back is what we need to reference. All right, so value 7 equals current bar minus value. I think this is gonna work. Maybe not. All right, so current bar minus value 6 equals value 7. So that, and that's gonna be of value 7. I think this is what I want. Alright, so trend line dot start create bar date time of how many bars ago? Of that many bars ago. So we want to get the bar date time. Huh? What? Bar date time. Time value 7. And then what? Bar date time value 7. And what value are we going to use? We're going to use the low. And then we got to have the second bar, the second dot will be the same. I feel like that's in parentheses. Yeah. Then dt point dot create. It's going to be the same dot. It's going to be the same time reference. And then we're going to put that extension on it. And we're going to say, because now we have identified that dot, and now we're going to say bottom d dot, I think it's extend, right? We should be able to do that. Is that it, or do we have to say something else? Or equals true. Maybe that stand right equals true. Yeah. So there. All right. Need another close parentheses there. Ooh, good. No errors. Let's add that to the chart and see if we get a line right there. This is practice fib.
Check for entry.
No! Alright, let's see. So first of all, I gotta get rid of all those dots because that's not what we're looking for. We don't want to plot that. Get that out of there.
Check for entry.
Alright, no errors though.
Check for entry.
Oh, I know what it is. So I created the trend line, but I did not apply it to the chart. So in order to apply this to the chart, so even though we've created it from here to here, now we have to apply it to the chart. So to apply that to the chart, we have to do something like I need to do more of these. Let's see. Drawing objects dot add, and then put our thing.
Check for entry.
All right. Was it equals? Okay, just parentheses. Drawing objects dot add. Drawing system drawing objects dot add. Okay. And then bottom D. Bottom dollar.
Check for entry.
Okay. Way too many lines. Way too many lines. That's a lot of lines. That's a lot of lines. That's a lot of lines. Okay. So, all right. So if time equals 10:11 and date is October the 5th, then let's see how far do these lines go back. They go back to the beginning
Check
of the
for
chart.
entry.
We know that's not right. All right. So if time, or maybe I got the date wrong. If time equals 10:11 and the date equals 100%, 123. Yeah. It's over. 05. Alright. Total 05. Then value 6 equals current bar. So that's storing the current bar to value 6. So value 7 is equal to whatever our current bar is minus value 6. Bar date time equals value 7. Yeah. Alright, I know one thing I can try here is I'll mute that out.
Check for entry. Check for entry.
And that should... What is this? Thought it was some writing. But either way, I should not have lines drawn now because my extend right is off. So there should not be horizontal lines throughout my chart at all. I know if I take this off, nothing should show up. All right. So put that back on. Drawing objects.add, bottom D. Bottom D. Extend right.
Check for entry.
Let's do this. Just similar to the, I don't know. Just out of curiosity, and then I'll figure out what that logic works. How that logic works. Okay, so if time equals 10:11 and date is that, we're going to put that at the beginning. Then we're going to begin. Then we're going to begin. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to say that if time is 10:11, crap, we're going to get rid of this. Value 7 equals.
Check for entry.
We're just going to say value 7 is equal to current bar, and then we're going to say. So now what we're saying is that the starting point of our dot is the current bar, and this only processes if the current bar is 10:05. If the current bar is October the 5th at 10:11, then execute this trend line. If that's not true, don't draw a trend line at all. So, I mean, this is the way we can like really make sure that we only get that one line. I still want to be able to do it the other way because we need that line to be able to be, well, I don't know. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. All right, so if time, and let's clean this up a little bit. If time equals, we're going to say beginning dot or bottom of fib. If time equals that, then begin current bar. Do that. Drawing object that, and then we're going to do end, and then we'll say that bar date time is 0. We're going to do the low. dt point dot create from the bar date time of how many, also 0, low. Boom. And value 7 should be declared as EL system. Really? Or maybe declared within it. well, one thing is we don't have a
Check for entry.
semicolon. Okay. All right, so we got that. All right, let's go back. Zoom out. See where we are here. All right, there's our time that we're trying to reference. All right, do we have a line? We do not have a line. If time equals to that, then begin. So is that? All right, drawing objects. Oh, we gotta extend it. We do have to extend it. Take that out.
Check for entry.
All right.
Check for entry.
Bottom D dot style is equal to 0. Bottom D dot, and now this is how you set all your parameters for style and weight, and all that for your trend lines.
Check for entry.
I still don't have it. All right, what's going on here? Chart analysis, state not verified, template 1, 3. Did I lose it? Let me see. Let me go back. I might have turned it off.
Check for entry.
Practice fib still on. All right, let me try this. All right, so something real quick. If time, and that way I can make sure that I do have the right time that's working. If time equals 10, 11, and date equals 120. Wait a minute. 121. That's not right. That's 120. That's 123. Well, that's your problem there, boss. All right, so let's get rid of this and
check for entry.
Boom! All right, we got the line. Perfect. Okay, so now let's change that bottom D dot. Can we do color here? Equals. Let's do red. I don't know if you do red or color dot red. Yeah, I think it's color dot red. Or do you have to do color ARGB? Let's see. How do I have to do it? So when using objects, you have to do elsystem.drawing.color.black. elsystem, because you're in the elsystem. elsystem.drawing, and you're doing a drawing. Then .color.black. Okay. Trying to commit it to memory. All right. elsystem.drawing. Boom.
Check for entry.
All right, so now we have it as red. Okay, so that's going to be our bottom of our fib. All right, and technically if we wanted to go in and find that most bottom one, and so I'm just trying to make the fib lines today. That's my objective for today. And then from there, I'll go back and I'll make this automatic. So I'll make this automatically find what that pivot low is. It'll reference that bar. All right, so for now, I'm just putting it in manually. All right, so that's actually 1008. All right, so when I change that to 8,
check for entry.
It moves that line. Perfect. All right, so now we got to go back. We have to do the same thing for this top.
Check for entry.
And if you look at the larger, time frame, then maybe that's not the top. But anyway, that's the problem. For me, that's the problem with Fibonacci is like, what points are you truly referencing? Should you be going from here to here? Or should you be going from here to here? I mean, I don't know. I don't trade fib, but I always love a challenge. So that's why I'm making a strategy with it. Besides, I learned other stuff along the way. All right, so now I need to recreate that same portion of script for the top line. So for this top line up here, which is approximately October the 5th at 14:18 or 2:18, we're going to do, all right, so we have the already declared the top dot of the trend line. We've already declared that up here. So we need to say if time equals 1418, and date is equal 123 years on October the 5th. Then begin, we'll do this as value 8 equals current bar, and then top D equals, see if I can do it without looking at it, trend line, top D equals trend line dot create. And how do you create it? With a bar date time of what reference? That 0 bars, because there's going to be that current bar since we're referencing what's happening at that specific time. And then what's the price? It's going to be the high, because we're at the top. We're talking about the top of the move. Okay. I need to close that, and then we'll do entry. The second point of the trend line. Trend line has to have 2 points, minimum 2 points. So we'll do. I feel like this is supposed to be something. I feel like this is supposed to be DT point. DT point. Bar date DT point dot create. I feel like, yeah, there we go. I think that's right. DT point dot create that dot, and DT point for the second one, the end one. Point dot create bar date time, and again it's going to be that same point, and it's going to be the high because we want it to be the same number. Boom. I think I need to close that. I think I need to close that all together, and then I need to go to top D dot, I think it's extend right equals true. Then I'm going to do top D dot
check for entry
color, and then I had to do, I think it was EL system dot drawing dot color, EL system dot drawing dot color. Okay, and I guess I could use one there, or I can do EL system dot drawing dot color dot
check for entry.
We'll do blue. It's at the top. All right. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see if that works.
Check for entry.
Boom, no errors. How about that? All right, but it did not draw a line, so I got something wrong. Times 1418, 1418, yep. All right, trendline dot create dot DT point dot create bar date time, yep. Got all that, DT point dot create bar date time, yep. Looks good to me. Top D dot, oh, again up here, like I said, once we have created the trend line, now we have to apply it. This is the apply line. Applies the drawing. Okay. So let's apply it right here, that next line. Okay, so drawing objects dot add top D.
Check for entry. Check for entry.
Boom. Okay, let's make it a little bit thicker. So top D dot weight. We'll set it as the same as the top.
Check for
okay,
entry.
So now we have our top lines and our bottom lines. Wow. Oh man. All right, so now this is just for visual purposes, as well as we can use that. Now that we have lines there, we can use it to create alerts. So if you go here, you can see that you can create all kinds of alerts and notifications based on your trend lines that you've now created. So that's important if you want to use that to trade with, or certainly to alert you with. when it crosses that level again. But what we want to do is we want to take the information from here to here and create our calculations for our Fibonacci, and then create more lines. So how many lines do I want to create? I don't know. What's let's see what the, anybody know what the normal Fibonacci numbers are, levels are? The sequence, I guess, Fibonacci. Which ones do we want to reference? 23. Alright, so I'm getting this. I don't know what you guys are getting, but I'm getting this. Most popular Fibonacci retracements are 61.8%, 38.2. Well, with 61, 6.8, and 38.2. I think I want to do the 38.2 from the top. We'll do that. 38.2 from the top, and we'll do 50. All right. So so what we need to do is now we need to find what the value of the low is and the value of the high, and then I guess we're figuring out what that difference is, and then we're looking for a 38% of that, 38.2% of that, subtract that from the top. So let's do this. Let's do value 17 equals, no. We're going to do this one at a time. All right. Which I think we could have used it up here, but because these are within the, these functions, I don't want to use them. I don't want to mess with them. Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna leave those out. We'll use new variables. So if time equals 10:08, that beginning time, and date equals 123 105, then value 17 equals low. Yeah, I know my spelling isn't right there. I see it. All right. I tell you what we will do. We'll time equals 1418 and date equals 123 105, then value 18 equals high. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say, can I do if current bar? If current bar, then we're going to do, I still didn't spell it right. Okay, if current bar, then value 18 minus value 17. Okay, that's going to be that range. And that. And then we're going to multiply that times 38.2. No, 0.382. 0.382. Can I go ahead and subtract that from value 18? Let's try it. All right, and that should be the proper logic, the proper order of operations for mathematics. So that should work. Then if current bar, then that. Okay, that. And that. Okay, and that's just current bar. Current bar is not okay. If current bar, we'll do if current bar is true. Well, current bar is greater than 0. Then value 19 equals
check for entry.
That. Okay. All right. So now we have what the level is, and we should be able to
check for entry.
Print value 19. Let's see what that looks like. So now once we executed this, we want to go over here and hit print. And so when we hit print, it actually prints over here what that number is, what value 19 is. How do we know that? Because we go over here and, like I said, when I put print, I can do print. I can say value 19 space that. I forget if it was plus or and. I'll put and. Okay, so now value 19. Operation not supported for these data types. Plus. Okay, so let's see what it is. I haven't printed in a while. It's just a comma. Okay. See, on ThinkScript with TD Ameritrade is different. I think it's like you hit the
check
add
for
button.
entry.
All right, so you see here it says value 19 is 44.5, and so 44.12 is right in here, right? All right, so now we need that line to be plotted here, so that way we'll get that Fibonacci, that next Fibonacci line. Okay, so now that we've got what value 19 is, we need to make another line, and again, we got this line because this time of day was 10:06. We got this line because it referenced that next swing point, which we'll adjust later. But this is 2:20 p.m. or so, 2:18. And so we cannot make this calculation until we get this second line. Once we get this second line, now we can make all these other Fibonacci calculations. So keep that in mind. All right. So now we need to make another trend line. All right, now this is my third time. First time was really rusty. Second time was a little bit better. Let's see how we do on the third time. We could go all the way back up to the top and put the variables all up there. That's fine if you want to do that. I'm going to do it here just so that I'm not cheating and looking at the other information. All right, so variable is trend line. We're going to put 50p, 50%, and that's null. We'll also do the, well, this isn't 50%, this is 38%. 38%. You know what? I don't know if we can start a variable with the number. So let's do R, so retracement 38. Null. And then we're going to do trend line R 50%.
Check for entry.
Null. Okay. And then we'll go if, and again, we haven't created value 19. Value 19 is the retracement amount, right? So we haven't created that until this point happens. So once value 19 is over 0, once it's been created, once something's in that storage unit, we can go ahead and execute other functions, which in this case would be this, would be if value 19 is greater than 0, then begin
check for entry.
All right, now we got to do the trend line. Okay, so what was it? Trend line. It was R38 equals think. R38 equals trendline.create, and then DT point, that first data point, date time point, dot create, and it's based on number of bars back, which would be 0, because that's the time point when we finally get a value 19, so it's 0. And that is going to be what is the value? What is the price? Is the low, high, is the middle of the bar? No, we already know what it is. It's value 19. Okay, and then
check for entry.
This is DT point dot create has to, wait a minute, DT point dot create, and then we're gonna say that first data point is a bar date time, starts with 0, number of bars back, and then we have that bar date time 0. Okay, and then the second data point is DT point dot create of bar date time, same bar, which is same bar, and then value 19, same value. Close that, stop that, and then we're gonna do R38 dot extend right.
Check for entry.
Extend right. Is it right or is it RT? Come on. Extend right. Right. Equals true. Alright, now remember from before, we do have to draw it. So drawing object. I don't think that's how it was written though. I think it was draw objects maybe. Drawing object dot add, and then R38. Alright, and then we're going to do end. And I hope that's it. Let's see, verify. Nope, that's not right. So let's go back up to the top, see what we did wrong here. Drawing objects. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay.
Check for entry.
Oh, okay, very good. All right, so, but this looks like bananas. What is that? This is a word. What is this? This is not, I don't know what this did. It created a line, but it created it out of, oh, it just, so it's got the information for the bar right here. So you see 0 bars, 0% grade, elevation, whatever. All right, so it just did this, but it did it multiple times. So in other words, we have multiple lines just straight across instead of just one line. So if time equals, so why did we get multiple? Because value 19 is greater than 0 on all those bars. So we need to just do it where value 19 is greater than 0 just one time. So if value 19 is greater than 0 and the time is that time from the top of our reference, and time equals 11, 14, 18, and date equals 123 years on the 10th month, 5th date, then
check
boom.
For entry.
Now we come back over here, we verify it again. Yeah, see that blue line? That's not us. Okay, here it is. That's the line we got. And let me show you this. Click it, you can drag it, you can move it. So now as you're moving around on your chart, you're dragging stuff, now you move your bar and you don't know where your Fibonacci line is supposed to be, right? So what we do is come over here and we go to R38 and 49. R38 dot, I think it's lock, and then you hit true. And then verify it again. So put it here. Now this time I'll click it, and now it says locked. I can't drag it. So you want to do the same thing up here too, because you know you can move that. So you want to lock them all. All right. But I want to set the weight on this as well. So we're going to set the weight. Well, new object name R38 dot weight equals 3. And I don't really care about the color on that one, so we can leave it whatever the color is. All right, so you got that, and then
check for entry.
Let's do the 58% retracement. Okay, so it's pretty much going to be just like we did for the 50% retracement. It's just going to be like we did for the 38% retracement. So we'll just go ahead and copy and paste this same logic to get us started. Paste that, and then we're going to do begin. And let's see, of course we have another variable. Variable equals, we'll do, oh, I already declared it up here, 50. All right, so 50. Begin 50 R50 dot, no, R50 equals trendline dot create, and we're going to create that with what? With a first date time point dot create based on what? Bar date time of the current bar, and not value 19. We'll make one value 20, which is be 50% retracement. All right, so I have to go back and do that, and then that, and then the second date time point that create is bar date time of 0. Yeah, I'm always spelling time wrong. 0 and value 20. Double it up, and then we'll go to, we know we have to do drawing object, it's plural, dot add, and then R50, and then that, and then we'll have to do R50 dot weight dot equals, we'll do 3. Oh, an extension R50 dot extend right equals true. All right, and then we have to do end. Okay.
Check for entry.
So
check for entry.
Oh, we hadn't said what V20 is yet. So, all right. So up here we determine what. Well, first of all, we can take the print off because we don't need that on our screen
check
anymore.
For entry.
And I'll just go back and remove that. And we have up here value 19 was created. If current bar equals that, then value 19 equals that. I wonder, can we add value 20 here? And value 20 equals value 18, which is the top of the Fibonacci sequence, minus 50% of the move. So minus value 18 minus value 17 times 50%. Yeah, it won't let us do that. It won't let us do 2 calculations at once, it appears. But what we can do is, if the current bar equals that, then we do that, and then that's one line, and then we come down and we do that second line. It does that, and then we hit end, but we have to begin. Now
check
verify.
For entry.
Boom. Okay, so now we have all 3 of our lines, right? We have the bottom line, the start point, we have the end point, and then we have the Fibonacci retracements. Now what's the problem here? Well, let's lock this. I'm going to lock R50 dot lock equals true.
Check for entry.
Okay, so, and we didn't lock the first two. Just go ahead and lock them while I'm at it. But
check for entry.
okay, so now we have everything
Check
on
for
here and
entry.
everything is locked. I can tell you one thing that I don't like. One thing I don't like is the fact that our starting fib level starts here and then these start here. So how do you want it to look? Do you want your bars to all start once you get all of your data, or do you want all of your bars to start from the start of your data? I think typically when you look at the Fibonacci sequence, when you draw it out, I think it all starts from the start of your data. So let's see. So if I pull this up, here's my drawing tool. Boom, I put it at the start here and I draw it up, right? If you notice, the bars start over here. They don't start over here. All right, put that there. All right, and then you'll notice that what I created with my script, that 38.2% line is right here. The 50% line is right here. The 23.60 line looks pretty good too, right? Look, this thing bounced kind of right on that general area. And then when we get back to this 38% line, what is it doing? It tried to do a little bit of bounce and then it just kind of shot through. So anyway, we're not trying to validate what happens with Fibonacci sequence right now. We're just trying to draw the Fibonacci sequence. So I'm going to start all of my lines over here back at the beginning. All right, so I'm going to delete this just to get it off the screen. All right, so these lines need to start back here. Now, how do we do that? There's a couple ways that we can do it. We can just tell it to start at this bar date time, which I think would be fine. But like I said, if we're going to create like self-learning algorithms that will find that point on its own, we're going to have to do a little bit more. We have to be a little bit more creative with creating our initial bar date time, because it's got to move on its own. But for right now, for what we're doing right now, like I said, this is complex enough. Just getting all these things to draw. So our initial bar date time will be. I wonder, can we create a variable that just says what the bar date time is? I think we can. All right, so we're going to say one of the variables that I haven't used yet. We're going to say value 23 equals.
Check for entry.
No, I would have to declare it as the dt point dot create, and I think I can do that. All right, so we will do. I know this is a lot, but I mean, because I could put these variables right here. I could put these variables right here, but I'm not. I'm going to start a whole new line, and this is just going to be for our DT points. So it would look something like DT point start time, start time, null, and then that, and then we'll say that start t is equal to bar date time I think I'm going to have to go and say if time equals 08 and date
Check for entry.
equals 123. 123 years, October 5th. Then start equals bar date time of 0. I think I can do that. It does not like that. Then bar date time, or maybe we have to do start create. Wait a minute. DT point dot create bar date time of 0. Can I match to any of the other overloaded methods? Wow. All right, so I'm trying to do something here that I don't know that can be done. So I'm just seeing what is possible, right? All right, this is going ahead and using the trend line to create it, but I want to create it outside of the trend line declaration. And maybe I can't do that. But I thought I could create a date time point. Date time point dot create. You know what? I may be able to do it. I may just need to put that other component in it, which will be the price. But I don't know what the price is while I'm just looking at the time, because here I just want the time. I don't want the price. Can I just create bar date time? I mean, I can write it into each line, each trend line. I just want to figure out how I can do it where it's easier and I can just declare one variable and then just kind of drop it in to each trend line. So start t equals dt point dot create. Yeah, because if I did like low here,
check for entry.
I mean, it took it, right? But it won't be the low. I mean, it might be the low on the lowest bar, but when I'm referencing this bar, it won't be the low. It'll be, remember, it'll be the retracement level. This one will be the retracement level. This one will be the high. So we can't use the low for each of them. So, like I said, we can create the DT point, the date time point outside of the line, but it needs to reference the correct thing. So we'll just we'll leave that alone. The beginning bar, this red bar, we already have that. The end bar, date time point.
Check for entry.
This bar date time now needs to reference what? It needs to reference this point. And how do we get it to reference that point? Because we need to be able to put the date and the time in there. Instead of a number of bars ago.
Check for entry.
Bar date time, bars ago. Field name can be any property or method of the date time class, such as date or second. So could I, sheesh, bar date time. I know that there's another way I can put this in here, so that it stays and doesn't move around. Okay, so let's try to create it from this. So if bar date time, so we cannot create our Fibonacci sequence until our top level has been created. So what we need to do, if we can only use a number of bars back as a reference here, then what we need to do is what I was telling you earlier. We need to find out how many bars this is back, and then how many bars this is back, and then take the difference, and then that is your number of bars back. So again, much more complicated here, but like I said, if you like to trade with Fibonacci sequence, going through all this would be worth it. For me, not saying it's worth, I enjoy the process, but I don't trade with it, so I'm just gonna be like, you know, whatever. But I've already been at this for like 2 hours now, something like that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say if value 19 is greater than 0, then we're gonna look at that
Check for entry.
bar. And then we're gonna take the difference between that bar number and the bar number of this, and that's gonna be our number of bars back.
Check for entry.
Okay, so if value 19 is greater than 0, if value 19 is greater than 0, if value 19 is greater than 0, if value 19 is value 18 minus, okay, so we're only starting value 19 if we get into this current bar here. Starts calc for value 19.
Check for entry.
All right, so now we come below this, and I'm going to say calculates, calcs max our bars back. All right, which would be this, which will say current bars greater than 0, then value 19. If current bar is greater than 0, which I shouldn't have even had to do this. This I didn't need to do this. I should just be able to get this out of here. Nope. Didn't like that.
Check for entry.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So now value 19 equals value 18. Okay, I got you. Let's try it this way. If value 19 is greater than 0, then value, I don't know which one we haven't used yet, value 22 is equal to current bar. Okay, so what this is going to do, this is going to give us multiple instances of value 22. This is going to say, all right, well, here value 19 is greater than 0. Here value 19 is greater than 0. Here it is, here it is, here it is. So we're going to get 5
Check for entry.
5 values. We need to say if this one is less than 0 and this one is more than 0, we need to find where that difference is. So if value 19 of 1 bar ago was different from what value 19 is now, that's what we want to use. So if value 19 of 1 bar ago is different from value 19 of now, then value 22 is equal to whatever the current bar is. All right, and so now we need to say, now we need to find out what the bar number of this is. So that first one is 10:08 on October the 15th.
Check for entry.
October the 5th. All right, so here we said if time is equal to 10:08 and then then we're going to do all these. But also we want to say value 23 is equal to the current bar, because now it's going to give us what the bar number is here. Okay, I think that's right. So now we take value 23, bring it back down here, and we're going to say we'll say value 24 is equal to value 19. Was it 19? All right, now everything's running together. All right, so that one was value 23.
Check for entry.
So I know I need to subtract value 23. All right, what was our first number? Was it value 22? Value 22. Okay, so value 24. All right, so now we want to put value 24 in here at the beginning of all of our lines. Value 24. If this doesn't work, then I will have to figure all this out again.
Check for entry.
All right, it worked. What was the first one at though? The first one didn't go because I think I forced it. No, that was the second one, because we had the bottom line, the top line value 24 of the high DT point. Great. And so we based that only on the time.
Check for entry.
We still should be able to have reference that back. Really? If time equals 14:18 and it's October the 5th, the value 8 equals current bar. Okay. Bar date. Value 24. I don't see anything wrong with that. And furthermore,
check for entry.
Again, it can only create this level once we get to this time point, but we should still be able to create our start point of the line more bars back than what is visible. And this is the blue. Okay, this is the blue one. This is the blue one. This is the blue one. Value 24. Value 24. Come on, fib lines, you silly beaver. The good thing about this is once I get this Fibonacci lines, levels, and the script created, then all I really have to do then is go back and however I want to change my my swing pivots and that kind of thing to be. I should be able to just
check for entry.
Add an input for that, and then it will plot them automatically. So that'll be good. But this is the last thing I want to see of this, and then I could go and add some labels. But okay, if time is equal to 10:08, no, down here, time equals 14:18, and the date equals that. Yep, begin value 8 equals current bar. That's fine. Top D is trendline.create dt point.create of the bar date time value 24. Well, how would you like it if I just put 3?
Check for entry.
Okay, it went back. So if I put, I don't know, 50.
Check for entry.
Okay. Well, value 24.
Check for entry.
What? Has it not? The only thing I could think is that it hasn't created value 24 by this point. But it has. Value 24 is equal to value 22 minus value 23. Value 22. I wish I could highlight on this thing.
Check for entry.
Can I? No, I can't highlight. So that way I could know what to come back to. Okay. Value 24 equals value 22 minus value 23. Well, for one thing, you know what? I know what it is. Value 24 hasn't been created yet. We need to take all of this. Value 24 is created down here. It goes in order. First line, second line, third line, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. It goes in order. It has very little memory. As smart as it is, it needs things to be orderly, right? So we need to take this,
check for entry,
copy it, and put it up here with this.
Check for entry.
We'll put it up here. Should all this have been created yet? Value 18, value 19, 18, 17. Where's our value 18 and 17 at? That needs to be up higher too. Wait a minute, did I copy and paste? I need to cut and paste. All right, where is value 18 and 17? Right here. Put that up above. All right, that should do it. Surprised it didn't give me an error though. All right, got it. Got it.
For entry.
Okay, so now we have all of our Fibonacci lines. All right, so now what we want to do is very simply, and this will be the last thing I do on this. I want to put a few labels. Because if you're just kind of looking at this, looking at the screen, you'll be like, "Oh my goodness, where are the labels? What exactly are we looking at here?" Okay, and the labels are, I believe they were just as curious to make. So this one here is the beginning, the bottom of the fib. So we're going to put start a fib, but it's got to say something like variable.
Check for entry.
label. I think it's called label class. Label. Oh, you didn't even have to do a label class with that. Like trend line, you have to do trend line class. If you're drawing a rectangle, you have to do rectangle. If you're doing ellipse, you have to do ellipse. For trend line, for label, you don't have to do that. You just have to do, okay, label. I guess you still have to declare what you're going to do, the variable. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go over further. No, I did have to do it for label. All right, label T, text label, and then do the same shenanigans. Okay. All right, so let's try it. All right, so this will be bottom of fib. We'll put bottom of fib. It'll be called. Let's go here, and we'll do. What is it? Text label. What do I want to call bottom label? Bot L. And then we'll do top text label. Top L, and this I will copy and paste because I ain't got time for it. All right, and I gotta fix that. I see that. All right, and then we'll do R38 label. Text. Let's do it down here. Text label R.
Check for entry.
38 label. No. And text label R50 label. No. Okay. I don't have to put that there. I just gotta put a comma.
Check for entry.
Silly B. All right. So here we're gonna go. Now we gotta add labels. All right. So we'll do bottom label equals text label dot create that. I think it's DT point dot create. Same thing, same bar date time we used up earlier. That way it references when our line is drawn, bar date, and then we're gonna write it out. It'll be bottom.
Check for entry.
Of fib. I think that'll do it. All right, now we have to add the label just like before. So we got to do drawing objects dot add and then bot L. I think that should be it. Verify. Nope. DT point dot create. Oh, wait a minute. DT point dot create. Yeah, bar date time value. I think that's all right. What did I do wrong? Labels. What? Labels. Is it labels? Doesn't feel right. All right, label text label dot create labels dot create. Okay, so we got labels dot create bar date time. Oh, the value. So the value here. So for when you're creating the label, you gotta identify the bar date, the date and time which you want to start the label, and then you also have to identify the level, the price level at which you want the label to be. Do you want it to be at the bottom of the chart at 0, or do you want it to be somewhere? Yada yada.
Check for entry.
So I do know that I need that. Value is 24, and then after that, then you add what you want it to say. Dot create bar date time value 4. Okay. What did I? Okay. About a text label dot create. I don't know why that still doesn't feel right there. About a bar date time. What level will we put this at? We'll put it at the same level that this up here is at, which is at the low. Sheesh! What is labels? Alright, so now I'm getting some help here. Alright, so text label dot create, xy point dot create. DT point dot create. Text label dot create, DT point dot create. Okay. Well, that's what I was doing before. And I didn't have that on the other chart, but it seemed to work, so I'm not sure
Check for entry.
why it worked actually. Alright, see, we got bottom of fib down here. Now we have bottom of fib. Woo! 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 This is a lot for the first 2 hours of the day. Alright. Okay, so drawing levels are at bottom. Like I said, we just gonna copy this. I should probably enjoy the experience of redoing it 3 more times, but I'm not. This one was the top of fib. I'll put that at the high. Value 24 DT point dot create. Yep. And then we need to change this to top label. Pretty sure. Verify that.
Check for entry.
Oh, I didn't do drawing. How come I didn't copy the drawing? I thought I did.
Check for entry.
Alright, now you see I have top of fib up here. Alright. Woo! Come on, Breeze. You got 2 more. Copy. Paste. This is R38 label. And R38. Wait a minute. R38 label.
Check for entry.
This is 38.2%. I just put retrace. Yeah.
Check for entry.
Nah, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Bar date time. Bar date time of value 24. Yep. High of that bar. No. Oh, this got to be a value.
Check for entry.
What was his value? Value 19, I think. Yeah. because that's that 38%
Check for entry.
retracement. See, it came down there. Okay, and then the last one. Value 24, yep. R50 label, R50 label, DT point I create, bar date time, value, high, 50% retracement.
Check for
it's
entry.
not high, that's value 20.
Check for entry.
Boom. Okay. You see it, guys. You see it. You see it. You see it. All right. Now, you don't see it. And then this is our Fibonacci
check for entry
that we found based on this point and this point, and it creates the Fibonacci. So again, the where the fun comes in at is now figuring out what points you want to use. Once you figure out what points you want to use, if you sit there and you look for a couple hours, you say, oh man, I think my Fibonacci should reference this point, then all you got to do is make the algorithm code for it, and then it'll automatically put your joints up here, put them up here for you. And good thing about doing it this way is if you're just sitting here watching the chart, then all of a sudden the Fibonacci joints pop up on the screen. You're like, oh man, I wasn't even paying attention. It's time for me to take an entry at the 50% or the 38% level, whatever. But like I say, I don't know what's so significant that you want to trade on it. So somebody who's smarter than me can figure that out. But yeah. All right, and so again, at this same time frame, because I based it on this static date and time, it's going to do this for any chart at the same date and time.
Check for entry.
This isn't something that you necessarily want to
check
trade
for
on.
entry.
All right, so here's Tesla, and then those are my Fibonacci lines. All right, so it's based on this start here. Clearly, that's a start. And then I guess it's based on 1218. 1218 was right here. It's based on this, right? So anyway, I accomplished what I set out to accomplish today. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? What's moving for today? Just curious of who's moving today. PRZO?
Check for entry.
Ah. Nice, got some support down here.
Check for entry.
All right, who else is moving today? AULT?
Check for entry.
Oh, they made a pretty good move up pre-market. Now they have retraced. And again, now I've got these Fibonacci lines on the screen. So, take that off. It's coming back to this level of support though. All right. T2 was one that I was looking at the other day. Oh, it's shot above that support. Looks good over here. So this swing support was identified at this level here, and then what did it do? It came and bounced off that swing support and then moved up. Swing support was created here, and then it came up, bounced off that swing support, and then moved up. Very nice.
Check for entry.
Very nice. Okay. RVLP. Swing support was created here, did not move above it, so now it's kind of bouncing below it, working below it. This support level here, you see, it was created way back here somewhere. Looks like it was created begin date 10/4. It looked like it respected that level. What happened back on 10/4? Looked like it started here. Yeah. Okay. Start at 10/6. All right, and then uno más. Yeah, PRZO is really moving.
Check for entry.
MTEK. Yeah, low liquidity. Low liquidity. Don't trust these support levels, but looks like we got some sign of support, and every time we got that line of support, it did a little move up, right? So, yeah. All right, guys, I still love coding. I don't do as much of the daily stuff as I used to because I'm busy working on some of these lines and these other algorithms and stuff that I'm working on just for a visual cues for like a hybrid type of trading. But I hadn't given up on you. Be sure to subscribe, like, join me in the Discord. It's a free Discord. I'm just looking for people to offer suggestions and ideas of content that I can come on here and code, and maybe I can make something for you. Maybe I can make something that you'd be able to trade with or are interested in. So make no promises. I'm not your professional. I'm not a licensed professional. I just get on here and have a little bit of fun. This is what I like to do. I like to code. It is 9:30. Femi is one that I've just kind of been watching here the last several weeks, so curious of what Femi is doing. Looks like not much today. What happened to my It's just nobody trading Femi? Low volume? Okay, and I don't know, it looks like my bars disappeared. Right axis, automatic scaling style, no transparency, settings, 10 days back. Line on close? No, who did that? Candlestick, always. That's what I do. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright, so Femi isn't doing much of anything. Alright, but like I said, PRZO was one that was really moving, so let's see what DJ's doing.
Check for entry. Check for entry.
Oh yeah. I mean, it could still retrace a bit more, right? And you got this high level of support here. So, well, it did retrace here and pushed off of that. But that thing could still retrace back down a bit more before it truly went up. But she looked like she wants to go. How did this change to a line on close for all of these? That's weird. Yeah, it couldn't resist, could it? It couldn't resist coming back down and retracing. That's what I say, man. Sometimes patience is important. Trying to catch these breakouts, ooh, that's dangerous. To me, that's dangerous. Okay, 15-second, 5-minute. Now we gotta customize this for scaling on the screen. Nope. I still don't understand why sometimes stuff on the chart just changes. Okay, yeah, retrace quite a bit on there, young buddy. Retrace quite a bit there. But if you traded the pre-market, you probably had a good time. You think it wants to come down and hit that line? It's also in that range. Maybe look for that entry down in there somewhere. But as it comes down that far, now it's flirting with the 200 EMA. But like on the 1 minute time frame, it's not too far. It won't be too far under or around the 200 EMA. Let's look and see what it'd be on the 5 minute time frame. Yeah, on the 5 minute time frame, that wouldn't be too bad. But it's got a long way that it could retrace to. Could come back here to this ascending support, as well as this horizontal potential base be created in here. So, I mean, but look at that move that it made. I would not expect for it to go here and then shoot straight up. Definitely a retracement. So, PRZO, be careful with it. Maybe next time when I hop on, I will make a strategy based on the RSI. Let's do that. Let's make a strategy based on RSI next time. And again, guys, if you weren't paying attention, here is what anyway. Well, I put together for the Fibonacci retracement, but it is based on lines. It's based on static levels. It's not based on any moving or self-learning algorithms. And I actually don't have enough data on this chart to go back to October the, yes I do, October the 5th. October the 5th was in here. I guess it didn't have enough data on the chart to pull up my strategy for the Fibonacci. Really? So practice fib, yep. Okay. Because it should have made fib levels for October the 5th in here, but there wasn't any data. So we did this on Fimi, which should have had plenty of data. Our Fibonacci levels were static based on, I think it was 10, 11, and 218 on October the 5th. October the 5th. Okay, where are my Fibonacci lines at? October 5th and here. And this is something that I learned. This is something I learned with another study. So I hope this helps you out because it really drove me bananas. So if you reference a function, or if you reference a time, if you reference a variable to start at like 1018, if you're doing seconds, that's fine, it'll hit 1018. If you're doing minutes, that's fine, it'll hit 1018. If you're doing a 5-minute chart, and I don't know where it starts at, but I'm pretty sure it just goes by 5. So on the hour, so it might start at 1 o'clock, 1:05, 1:10. I don't think it starts at the chart won't start at 1:11. So then every 5-minute interval will be 1:16, 1:21, 1:26. It won't do that. It'll just be 1 o'clock, 105, 110, 115. So if you reference a function or a variable to start at 117, and it only starts if it's at 117, your bars don't start at 117. Your bar will hit 105, 110, 115, 120. It never hit 117. So even though the time frame may be 117, what you wanted it to hit, within that bar it hit it. Within that bar it hit it. But if the bar doesn't start at that time, you won't get anything for your study, your strategy, for your function, your variable. So keep that in mind. So like I said, I started this script. This script was based on 1008 and I think 218. So no data point was created because this is based on a 5-minute time frame, of which 8 minutes or 18 minutes are not divisible. So if I go back to the 1-minute time frame, then they'll show up. You see, they showed up now.
Check for entry. Check for entry.
See, now this
Check
would be
for
the
entry.
Fibonacci based on those time points. Or I could have just changed these numbers to 1010 and 1420, and then it would give me the information. But I'd have to change it for all these, and I ain't finna do that. So, hope you got something from this. Again, join me in the Discord. I'll put a link for you so you can join my Discord, so you can find out what I'm up to, what I be up to, and then I will catch you on the next live or catch one of my next videos. Let me see. Trying to find the link.
Check for entry.
All right, I'm gonna have to add it later. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's not it. Boom. I don't know what this is. Yeah.
Check for entry. You think I can figure this out if I can write code, but Check for entry.
There we go. Okay. All right. So, let's see here.
Check for entry.
There it is. There she blows. Okay. So go ahead and join the Discord and let's have some fun. Let's do some big things together. All right. This is Eric. I'm out. Peace.